on, folks, and welcome to Four Corners of the Galley. I'm your host, PBO.
And I'm RG.
Yeah, and you're joining us on a special edition of TV Reviews. And this is not like a review. This is more of a question.
And why.
And giving our opinions and trying to figure out why. And what are we trying to figure out, folks? We're trying to figure out what the heck happened to the Netflix Marvel series. Yeah. Here we sit in 2018, folks, and Iron Fist Season 2 has just come out, and yeah. And we're sitting here wondering what the heck is going on with this series. So, without catching up, without going further, let's catch up. Yeah, without catching up. No, let's catch up, and without going any further, let's catch up on how we got here.
Yeah.
So, in 2015, in the first series, we got Daredevil Season 1. That came out April 10th. 2015. Came out the gates, and I must say, overall, I thought it was a great series overall.
It was an amazing series.
Okay.
Anyone who says otherwise,
yeah.
No matter how slow it was,
you love it.
It's an amazing series.
Don't overtalk. Just give an opinion.
To start with the season 1 of Daredevil, fantastic origin, almost perfect.
I still think it's very slow. The first 4 or 5 episodes is a lot of Foggy and Karen and discussion of Daredevil and discussing of laws and different things, but I get it's a building. But overall, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. He gives it an 8. I understand completely. The last 4 to 5 episodes of Daredevil I thought were great.
Yes.
But also, I will admit, with all of these Netflix series, minus one season, all of them need to be 10 episodes and not 12. I feel like 12 episodes is a little too long. That's besides the point. Then,
and it also showed a grittier version of Marvel that we never saw.
Which we were supposed to get. Netflix promised a gritty, street-level version of comic books adaptation that we were all expecting. And the first couple of shows and seasons were exactly that. Were a gritty, dark, street-level, basic powers, more interacting with normal people and dealing with normal lives that superheroes have to deal with, and it was that.
Yeah.
Like I said, in the same year, in November 20th, 2015, we get Jessica Jones Season 1. And Jessica Jones, at this point, Daredevil was like an easy one. Well, Jessica Jones was a graphic novel that a lot of people didn't read, and it was more about an alcoholic private detective who has superpowers but has her own demons and fights against her own self, and basically her own villain is herself because she causes more damage than she does good, but overall she's a good person. Yeah. And this season was amazing. For me, I loved it more than Daredevil. Why? Because it had a better villain than Daredevil. I mean, no offense, it had Kingpin, but an overall super villain, I thought it was better because you had an actual villain with powers that could compete against Jessica Jones' superpowers, and they weren't the same. In non-Marvel world, this is the first villain at this point that had superpowers that were not theirs. Instead of, like Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man or Warmonger and Iron Man, it was somebody not different.
Yeah, and they also did a really good job showing it because I didn't know who Jessica Jones was. I didn't know what this series was about. I just knew it connected to Daredevil, and that was it. And then I heard it was good, and then I watched it, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Almost perfect.
What it did, well, I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was just a little better than Season 1. But what I also loved is, by episode 2 or 3, you already get Luke Cage. I mean, we meet Luke Cage a whole year before he even has his own show.
Yeah.
And it was beautifully done. He's in 2 episodes. They have a little interaction. They have a little fun. And he's all part of it. And you're like, wow, this was great. Then Kilgrave, the villain, was just next level.
He was amazing.
He was next level. Plus, her side characters, who are probably some of the most irritating side characters, are not as bad in this one because they're more relegated to the background and they're assisting her more than them being the stars, which I really liked. Because Trish Talk, I'm sorry, I can't go with Trish Talk. But overall, Jessica Jones Season 1 was amazing. Then 2016 hits, and
we were spoiled.
We were just spoiled.
We were spoiled
because this is the year we get Daredevil Season 2, March 18th, 2016. There's nothing else to say.
Spoiled.
There's nothing else to say.
Just think of Daredevil Season 1, grittier, more action, with the Punisher, It's just amazing. It's like, what more can you ask for?
They took season 1, they saw everything they did wrong and everything they did right, and they found the perfect mix and created a 12-episode show that I must say is on par with one of the best seasons of all televisions and all shows. Yeah. I mean, the first 6 is all Punisher. And it's next level. Then you're like, okay, well, they can't get any better than that. No, they do. They give you Elektra and the Hand and Stick, and it doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah, doesn't. Plus, also Punisher in the background doing his own thing.
Oh my goodness, John Barathol is a Punisher. Talk about perfect casting. Yep. Beautifully done. I'm horribly mad I cannot remember Elektra's name, but she's an amazing actress also, and a well-renowned kung fu artist, and that's why she's so amazing in this movie, because she's played kung fu artists before. She's phenomenal, and I will remember your name, and I'm truly sorry. I'm going to put it on this thing. It's going to say it right here, I promise you, because you killed it. Yeah, her name. She killed it. I mean, just great, right? So then, we get Luke Cage, Season 1, in September 30, 2016, and man...
It starts off really good.
It starts off great. The first 6 episodes... almost
are comparable
to Daredevil season 2. Almost.
Just, I would say, because there aren't as many interesting characters, like unique characters, it doesn't get the Daredevil. But it was like, the story was so good.
It was perfect. Why? Because of villain.
The villain,
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth was comparable to Kingpin in Daredevil season 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. And I don't know what decision they wanted to make, why they decided, spoiler warning in case you're watching this, kill him midway through the season and give us a give us to Diamondback a brothering part. I just don't understand. The first 6 episodes, I give it a 9 out of 10. Yes. Like, it's almost perfect. The second half, it's like a 7 out of 10. It's good, but it's just slowly decrepitating piece by piece. And overall, I love Luke Cage. I thought it was great. Yeah. Luke was amazing. Yeah. I loved all the interconnecting stuff. I loved everything that worked. I thought it was great. Then we get to 2017, last year, folks, and we come out the gates with Iron Fist. Season 1, freaking March 17th.
Everyone is excited?
Everyone was pumped. No. At this point, Marvel is on a roll. They haven't missed. Yeah. They haven't missed.
4 of their shows.
4 shows.
All really good.
All good.
None of them really bad.
No. You can't complain. At this point, if you're complaining, then you're just whining.
And then
I don't even understand what they do. First off, we can't even not address it, but they whitewash Iron Fist, and they give it they give Danny Rand, a white guy who is fine. Finn Jones is great from Game of Thrones, but he should never have been Iron Fist. Then you don't even make it about Iron Fist. You make it about Danny Rand and the whole corporate espionage and dealing with nonsense. You talk about the Hand, but you don't really talk about the Hand.
They show up once in a while to bother.
And then he's the Iron Fist, and he doesn't even use his Iron Fist until the end. And the whole thing is more about corporate takeover, espionage, and psych wards.
Yeah, and the villain is
the villain is trash. Yeah. It's such a poor done.
The best part character and the best part is his brother, because his brother has a very unique story in the whole thing, just because of
which brother are you talking about?
The brother who is the corporate brother.
Oh, you mean the Joy and the okay, he's crazy, but I also think the best thing is Colleen, his love interest, who's part of the Hand and is trained by the Hand, but ends up,
That was a great twist. And they kept sticking with that. Maybe could have redeemed itself near the end, but no, they just...
She has a great fight scene, a cage fight scene at the beginning where she's fighting in a cage and she's doing... I mean, she is awesome. She's great. And she's the only reason that keeps half that season going. The rest of that stuff is just nonsense. All right, we won't have to dwell on that. Then we get to the summertime, and we get the big thing that we've all been excited for. They tell us they're going to get them all together, and we're going to get a Season 1 of Defenders. And out the gate, they give us 8 episodes of the Defenders group show. And man, the first 3 episodes, I was like, they did it. We hit a home run.
Oh, Iron Fist is back. They're working with it. It's working.
It was fine. In a group, Iron Fist is amazing because he's supported by Luke and he's supported by Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Stick's fighting and Lecter's helping out. Oh, it's beautiful, right? And then I don't know what they were thinking. It goes so far off the rails.
They start focusing more on...
It's all about Danny. Yeah, it's all about the Iron Fist in the Hand, and it's like it has nothing to do with anybody else.
The best part of the whole show is when the Hand realizes the Daredevil's back, and they start, what? He's back? They're not worried about the Iron Fist. They're like, oh, we can take care of him. We need him eventually. They're like, he's back. Daredevil's back.
They're more scared of the Daredevil.
Yeah.
All of them are scared of the Daredevil. And without it being said, Daredevil is hands down the #1 standout. I love Luke, but I actually think Jessica Jones is a little better than her, and character-wise. But her fighting is just. I mean, there's nothing against Miss Ritter. She does a great job as Miss Jessica Jones. So you got the Defenders, and it comes up with this convoluted ending. I mean, a convoluted ending where you have this ginormous battle, and it's got this battle between the old ninjas and the Hand, and they're all down below underneath New York City, and it's all about Danny Rand's mystical place that they're trying to save. It's just
a dead dragon there.
A dead dragon.
Not to mention the villain is super weak.
Oh, it's just really poorly done. And then, spoiler warning, spoiler, in case any of you guys haven't had it, at the end, supposedly Daredevil dies.
But he's not dead.
But at the end of the whole thing, you find that Daredevil is actually taken to a monastery and a church, and he's being nursed back to health by the priest and the nuns, and this is more of the Daredevil Reborn comic series, which we're all excited about. So, yeah, we'll get back to that in a second. So, you went with the Defenders. Then, that same year, we get season 1 of The Punisher.
This was our saving grace.
Yeah.
This was the saving grace.
So, you get Punisher, John Barathel, continuing right off of where Daredevil season 2 ends, and just runs into it. And I'm talking about, wow, what a great season.
Now, although it focused more on the
post-traumatic stress and the previous, it was still amazing.
Yeah, and you don't really get Punisher until later, but
you already know
the whole feeling of him being able to take it all down at any moment, and then him doing it at any moment is amazing.
You know what the problem is? Nobody saw it. You know why? Bad timing. Punisher releases month after a ginormous massacre with the AR-17 in Orlando that killed a lot of people's lives, and we're truly sorry for that. And at the same time, 6 different school shootings. So this came out in the middle of all of this nonsense and the election. It just had a whole bunch of things working against it. It truly got stuck in its way. And it really stinks because The Punisher was a great season, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It just got stuck at the wrong thing. You can't have an anti-hero who runs around with guns, killing vigilante style, and in the world, people are running around with killing stuff. You also had that Vegas massacre that was just happening a month. I mean, it was just bad timing. So, now we've caught up to 2018. This year, they have decided to give it all back to us, and give us all. So, Jessica Jones gets season 2 that came out on March 8th, 2018. Luke Cage gets season 2, came out June 22nd, 2018. Iron Fist gets season 2, September 7th, 2018. What are they doing? Not one was good. Jessica Jones decides they want to go back in time, and they want to think about how she was created. They spend the whole season on talking about how she was figuring herself out, how Trish Talk is now going to become some vigilante, and they discover that her mom, Jessica Jones' mom, not dead, but is some superhuman Arnold Schwarzenegger style, can beat everybody up. Oh my God, they got lost in their own way. Then we get to Luke Cage, and Luke Cage is struggling with being a superhero in Harlem, and half the episodes are about music and shades, and it just gets lost on itself. Then we get to Iron Fist. Oh man, they don't know what they're doing still. We're still stuck with Danny going against Joy and the brothers and his ex-partner and figuring out life and relationships, and Colleen. I will admit they got the fighting better. At least he's using his fist now, thank God. But man, they can't get out of their own way. So before we get to the great stuff that's going to come out, what the heck is Netflix doing?
They're trying to boost their weaker shows, even though Luke Cage and Jessica Jones were still good on their own right. It's whatever.
What I loved about the first seasons from each one of them, even Iron Fist, they just didn't do origins. Like, they gave you like a 1-episode origin, but they didn't dwell on the origin of the character. They really just gave you what this person could do and jumped in.
This is why Daredevil season 1 is amazing. Because it gave you the origin correctly. Even though it was slow, it's still made correctly. While the other 3 characters, although Luke Cage gets his origin later in the show, it just, you don't feel a strong origin from them.
What I thought was the worst part is if you know these are the weaker ones, and then you know you're trying to do something more, then at this point cross them over.
Yeah.
You've already done Defenders.
Yes.
Bring in Luke to Jessica Jones for 2. Bring in Danny for 1 or 2. What the heck are we not doing? Instead of Luke and Iron Fist season 2, forget all that. Heroes for Hire season 1. Luke and Danny mixed together like in the comics.
Or even if you just season 2, put them into one, just Heroes for Hire, and just say that, and then you can just tagline it to season 2 of Luke Cage.
You could do an episode each. One of Luke at Harlem first trying to discover himself, and then Danny's dealing with his thing. They both kind of get like the same kind of person crossing them over. They end up having to work with each other, and then bam, there you go. And they can both help you solve each other's issues.
Like how CW does their shows.
Exactly.
Like,
now CW gets a little cheesy, but at least they cross them over. And
at least they know how to handle the characters when crossing them over. Like, oh, we have a bunch of these groups, and we have this group. We got the Flash, we got Supergirl, we got Green Arrow. Well, let's have a big old time event where they all work together for a couple of episodes. Netflix doesn't do that.
Instead, they want to give each one of these individuals people their own seasons, and then take all of their side characters and basically make them all main characters now. I love Misty May, and that's great. And I know losing her arm and the whole deal, she was cool in Luke Cage. But giving Trish half of the show, it's just not necessary. Or even Foggy or Karen. I don't want to talk about Foggy and Karen for 6 episodes. I know they're there, and they're there to help and to service Murdoch and to make sure that the Daredevil moves forward. It's not about to be dealing with, I don't know. I just feel like they get lost in their whole, let's make this person everything. Like, you have, each one of these characters has at least 100 comic books about them, right? At least 100. Holy, why haven't you cherry-picked it? Daredevil figured it out. They went in and cherry-picked the best stuff.
They were all like, Daredevil versus Punisher. That's amazing. Daredevil versus the Hand. Wow, let's just put them together and let's see what happens.
Daredevil versus Elektra. Daredevil versus Kingpin. Now we're going into the heart and meat of Daredevil in season 3, which is going to come out this year, which is Reborn, which is the 80s Daredevil, which is probably the Frank Miller which is one of the best Daredevils ever. I mean, I'm beyond excited. This is Daredevil. I'm not playing no more. Forget all the rules. I'm going to go out and whoop everybody's butt, Daredevil. I cannot wait. We're also going to get Punisher Season 2 in 2019. Now, here's the thing I'm scared about. We're going to get these next 2 great shows. Daredevil 3 and Punisher 2. Is this going to bring back Marvel? And everybody's going to be like, oh, well, they got those 2 right. Let's try it again. And then we're going to roll out another season of these 3 knuckleheads not getting anything?
Yeah, probably. The best case scenario, the next season 3 of Daredevil does good. Season 2 of Punisher does good. Jessica Jones.
Which I think they've already greenlit at 3.
Which I believe that's fine if they can do it correctly. But you need to combine Iron Fist and Luke Cage for Heroes of Hire. Don't keep them separated. They're hurting themselves by them.
And if you really want to have some fun with Jessica Jones, go get Misty and Colleen and pull them together with Jessica, and you can have this great, amazing women's superhero show where it's women's kicking butt and taking people down.
Yeah.
She's a private detective, Misty May's a detective, and Colleen's the Hand. Oh my goodness. That would be amazing. Yeah. Heroes for Hire, they need to seriously, season 3s need to be combined. Daredevil's the only one who's allowed to have a season 3
because he's the only one who's
deserves
set up
it and made
strong enough
and made it.
Yeah,
and he's got a fallen Punisher. You know what? This is the second one. He's
allowed this one. He's allowed to mess up this one.
And now if he messes this up, he needs to be put back with Daredevil, and they need to just do some combination. Yes. What I fully believe is, I do not know the life and length of how long this Marvel Netflix series is going to go.
Now, it could die out here.
It could die out here. It could also move over to the Disney streaming service. Yes. I do not know how these rules and regulations work. But what I hope for, and if they are going to continue these shows and continue with this series, is they start combining them and start mixing them together. Because each individual, it was great to get their first season. It was perfect to get their first season. Daredevil deserved a second. Because Daredevil's second was so great, he deserves a third. Yeah. If he messes up the third, then I think you got to bring it back some. Maybe you need to re-establish the Defenders. Go get a good showrunner that knows how to intertwine all these different characters. But things need to be fixed in this Marvel world because people have lost interest. Yeah. People have lost interest before these things even started. Iron Fist, there's no promotion nowhere. Luke Cage got a lot of promotion, but there is no promotion. Yep. We're going to see more promotion on Daredevil Season 3 than we're going to see on any of these shows.
We already have promotion on Daredevil Season 3.
I didn't even know Iron Fist came out. I had to go back and check it out. I was like, whoa, I missed that.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Netflix, Marvel, we need to get this together, folks. We were excited. We were on board. We sat through them all, and now we are mad, and we want some change. So, oh, there you go, folks.
Yep.
That's our little open discussion forum breakdown of some of our opinions and things that we see, the ways we see things. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Hopefully Daredevil Season 3 is amazing, and we can all talk about how great and they're back.
Bullseye, please.
There you go. That'd be the best. All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us. Until next time, guys. Good night, Ted.